let's do another video where we're responding to another delusional person who thinks all dogs should be banned from society, even though that would be physically impossible. Yay! Oh, and let's not forget that this individual also thinks that supporting a dog is considered fascism. Now, since I've been doing a lot of parody stuff, or at least using images for my commentary videos, I went ahead and posted a cute little Chihuahua puppy for this parody video. This is going to be fun.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I've been inspired to make this channel by people including Anit-Onision and I Hate Dogs. I have a lot of time and respect for these people.
How do you have respect for those two? Usually they misinform a lot of people when it comes to their content, and the only thing that they use as quote-unquote evidence or the big reel for their videos is shock value when it comes to their content, showing gory images of what may not even be dog bites, I should add. Some of them probably are, but for the rest of them, more than likely are caused by other stuff.
There's other new YouTube creators who've just came out there with anti-mutt channels who might have also been inspired by, and there's other content creators making anti-mutt content. Thank you, all of you. I have much appreciation for your intelligence and your investment in people.
I'm sorry, that was funny.
Firstly, mutts are an imposition on all of us in many ways. I see the core root of the problem as the early warning signs of fascism.
You are made of stupid.
And the protection of corporate power. Anyone who's read or knows about the statement about the early warning signs of fascism will know that one of the messages on this statement put that the protection of corporate power is one of the early signs of fascism.
And where, pray tell, does this pertain to dogs? Oh, wait. Oh, please tell me you have some bullshit reason. That's usually what comes out of your guys' mouths when it comes to these anti-dog videos. Please give some bullshit reason.
And the pet industry, I think, is being protected by state governments, and the pet industry is lying to people, and they're stating to people what they think, what the pet industry states to people, what they think people want to see, not reality and the truth. And this is the core root of the problem. It's a profit-driven, unethical, corrupt industry that's really only interested in money and career advancement, and this is at the core root of this disgusting imposition we have on us, which is the mutt.
First of all, what lies are you discussing? I really wish you would have given evidence, because it just makes you sound ignorant. No offense. And I'm sorry, but any company that is trying to make money when it comes to producing a product, that's not a bad thing. I'm sorry. Are you saying that the company shouldn't make money producing a product? Are you saying that the workers shouldn't get paid for helping produce that product? Or at least pay the truckers shipping the product? I'm trying to understand your logic here. How is that considered fascism?
Now, I see the mutt as something that causes so many problems. It destroys our lives and our communities.
Oh, this is going to be good.
In various different ways. One of those ways is pollution, environmental pollution, including noise pollution, which we all know about, what an awful problem that is. Harassment, when we're walking down the side of the street and we're getting harassed.
Okay, I'm going to say this right now. The whole sound pollution argument is bullshit, okay? There are many other things, let's say in the community or human populace, that make noise. Are you going to ban cars for making noise? Are you going to ban children for making noise. Heck, when there are feral cats, are you going to ban cats for making noise? And usually dogs, I'm sorry, because I've owned dogs, like a few dogs. Usually, as long as they're well trained, they don't bother you. Let's say if you're walking down the street, okay? Unless you're doing something that affects them, like let's say attacking them, like Canine Aversion did several times, because she doesn't like dogs, then they would possibly bite back at you.
Environmental pollution in terms of polluting our soil and our water, which is killing off invertebrates, including worms and little insects which birds and fish feed on, which has a knock-on effect. Our water is contaminated too because of mud waste. This is disgusting, and this is making our tap water less drinkable, which is potentially causing health problems for us.
So I'm going to say with a quick Google search, I did look up that, yeah, with dog waste, it could be harmful, but the one thing that you don't go into is the real culprit to blame is the bad owners that don't pick up after their animals. See, a dog, like any other animal, let's say that's roaming around either streets, forests, towns, cities, whatever, if they're going to use the bathroom, they're going to use the bathroom. Okay? And usually, and I will say that with a lot of owners that, walk their dogs, or at least a few, sorry, the really bad ones, have no consideration with picking up their dog's mess. So, at this point, don't blame the dog, blame the owners that are inconsiderate fucks.
Then we have the issue of the danger aspect of mutts, which is huge and terrible and appalling. The biting, the harassment, the deaths, not only caused by rabies but by violent deaths and assaults and murders caused by mutts and mutt owners.
You do realize that dog attacks don't happen as often as you're making them out to be, do you? Let's use the U.S. as an example. Fatal dog attacks in the United States are rare, although non-fatal dog bites are not unusual. Around 4.5 million Americans are bitten by dogs every year, resulting in the hospitalization of 6,000 to 13,000 people each year in the United States. But dog bites can cause pain, injury, infection, and even death. About 1 in 5 dog bites require medical attention. Typically, between 30 to 50 people in the United States die from dog bites each year. Now, we'll say that in certain areas around the world where, let's say, there are more wild dogs and probably less opportunities to get vaccinations for rabies and other infections by dogs, then in those areas, yes, there's going to be more dog bites. But that's basically because they are incapable of getting the vaccinations in time to deal with certain bites.
My view on this is that the owner, when a mutt kills and murders a human, the human must be charged with murder and treated equally culpable and given as long a sentence in prison.
I think you guys would just want dog owners in general to just be sent to jail for owning an animal. But let's be fair here. Ultimately, when it comes to, like, let's say dog bites, dog attacks, usually it's from animals who have never had a home. They have only known the streets, and they've pretty much become feral. Now, there's another type of dog that we all know, and let's be fair here. Usually these dogs are animals that have not been in a loving home, And the owner has been cruel and very destructive when it comes to their treatment of their animal. Which is why I usually use the arguments bad dog equals, or bad owner equals bad dog. But also the argument of nature versus nurture. And for those people who don't know what that is, it's the argument that nature, sometimes what you think is nature, is actually caused, or at least behaviors are caused by the nurturing of either an individual or an animal. Particularly with dogs, a lot of them are well-mannered with the proper training, as well as, a loving family. But for those particular dogs that don't have a loving household, who basically all they know is pain, torture, and cruelty, then they themselves will also know pain, torture, and cruelty, especially towards other animals and human beings. Now, if you were to say that those particular people, those evil people that would mistreat their animals, would go to jail because of the dog bites, then you know what? Sure. But you're justifying any dog owner at this point. So I'm going to have to say no. I don't agree with you.
If the mutt kills a human, as if the actual human who owns the mutt killed the human themselves. In other words, if a mutt murdered a human, the human owner must get permanent life in prison, no parole.
Now, let's say, for instance, because you want to try to give the person life in prison, let's say, for instance, you find out that the reason the dog attacked somebody was because that individual was attacking their human owner. So what then? Okay. So does the dog have to die for protecting its owner? Does the individual end up having to go to prison because at this point it's practically self-defense? Look, I know people like you and Canine Aversion, as well as I Hate Dogs, you guys hate dog owners. You would love to see dog owners go to prison because we own dogs. We, commit the ultimate crime of owning an animal. An animal that we have trained, usually a lot of us have trained, to be part of our household, to protect our homes, and be a part of our families. I'm sorry that we have committed the ultimate crime of owning a dog.
And the sentences must be extremely harsh for that.
I'm just going to say thank God that people like you, who are very delusional, don't take part in court.
I think mutts are used as deadly weapons, and I think there is a case to be made that states that the mutt is more dangerous than the gun, because a gun is only dangerous when it's directly controlled by a human, whereas with a mutt it's potentially dangerous even if it's not directly controlled by a human, sometimes more dangerous in fact, and this in some ways makes it worse than the gun.
A dog is worse than a gun. I want people to kind of take a second and think about how stupid that statement was. A gun that basically, when it comes to its death ratio, trumps a dog, because it kills both man and animal, is worse, or at least less threatening, than a dog.
I think then there is the issue of double standards of mutts and mutt owners in particular, who claim to love animals, yet they imprison animals, and claiming to love animals on the one hand, which is creepy and inappropriate, I think, and then imprisoning an animal, a mutated, deformed species which shouldn't even exist and shouldn't even be in human settlements, is just the most absurd double standards and defies all logic.
Could you please explain how having a dog is considered double standards if we love the animal, and how is it imprisonment of the animal? I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand your logic, but you're just spewing words and not all of it's coming together, it seems.
And I think that the mutts who are chasing and killing terrifying wildlife mutts are contributing to the destruction of wildlife, which to me means that the mutt owners certainly I've met are the very people who have the least interest in the environment and the least interest in naturally evolved adapted species. It's mutts who destroy and terrify naturally evolved and naturally adapted species. Mutts are into breeding with genuinely evolved wolves, and I have no problem with wolves. And mutts are interbreeding with wolves, and they're compromising the genome of wolves and polluting the genome of naturally evolved wolf species and potential.
Damn it, Wade!
I'm sorry, I just can't take any more of this video. It just seems like he's going around in circles, making the same unintelligent arguments, especially not giving any evidence to his claims. And I want to point out that these quote-unquote arguments are from the very same people that, again, do not do research and have been debunked time and time again about their nonsensical garbage when it comes to their videos and their information that they produce to people. I hate dogs and canine aversion are the very definition of misinformed. And anybody who follows them, as well as probably follow this individual, I would ask you to, as I do with every other dog hater video, to maybe take a second and learn about these animals. And when you make a video, leave links as well as give actual information and sources to your information to prove that what you're saying is actually true. Alright, so now that I've said that, I think I'm going to go ahead and hang out with my wife as well as play with my 3 gorgeous chihuahuas. Thank you guys for watching. Truly appreciate it. And if you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is Rob of Novakast signing off. Have a good one. Take care. Oh, one last thing, or at least 2 last things. If you guys have any comments, please leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And for those who are interested in watching my Let's Plays of Legend of Zelda, or any Let's Plays in general, link at the end of the video will be available for you guys to click on to go to the playlist where I have been playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So, again, thank you guys for watching. This is Rob of Novakast signing off. Have a good one, and take care. Peace.